Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So I finally got Nightreign yesterday, and this is a cool game. It feels really fresh, and I am really enjoying it. Here I'll show some footage from my most successful run. I got to day 3, the Night Lord boss. I didn't record that fight, sadly, because it has been so long since I've captured footage for my PlayStation that I forgot how to do it. But I did record day 1 and 2 by accident, so I'll show you the bosses from there. And I am playing it solo because I don't have the online subscription thing. And then I am trying every character, and the game's kicking my ass, but I love it, and then I love the progression, as slow as it is. Here I'm using Executor, which is funny because I don't like parrying, and I never use it. But I did better than with any other character, and it's thanks to his other ability, where he turns into a giant wolf. That is a super strong ability. I have the Godskin Stitcher, which I don't even know if it is good for him, but it worked out, so yeah. This is the day 1 boss. It'll be the demi-humans, the pair. And as for my favorite Nightfarers, it's still too early to say for sure, but I like Raider, Guardian, and Wilder the best. Duchess and Iron Eye in the middle, and Recluse and Executor at the bottom, but that might change. I won't write off anyone quite yet. I'll keep trying with all of them. Raider and Wilder feel pretty straightforward, but Guardian looks really interesting. He wants to use a shield, and I love shields in Dark Souls games, and his playstyle seems very technical with the Steel Guard passive ability leading into guard counters. I want to keep practicing that until I master it. Duchess and Iron Eye are fun with the ranged attacks and status effects, but I just prefer close combat style. But I can see right away how playing with Iron Eye can be easy mode. It's also super cool to see bows finally be good in a Souls game. Alright, and then here is me using the giant wolf ability for Executor. And yeah, just I get lots of HP, I can do lots of damage, very big sort of area of effect with the attacks, so yeah, very effective. It's interesting, when they announced Nightreign, they said that there was little character customization, and I felt let down, because character building in Dark Souls games is something I love. But I feel like with these set characters, they're so interesting and distinct that I don't mind anymore. Goes to show how good at character design From Software is, and it makes me even more excited for Duskbloods. As for the gameplay loop, I like it, but it's also panic-inducing because it's fast-paced and I don't know what to do. But I'm sure as I play, I will learn like routing and which areas to go into and which bosses to fight, so it should get easier. I have seen some people wish for more variation in the map, but I'm like, no thank you. Let me master this map first before they start changing it up or offering more maps. One thing about this game is it's a little button mashy, which I don't like. Sometimes you have to hit the jump button like 20 times in a row to scale a cliff. And then the Duchess's dagger and Iron Eye's arrows also take lots of buttons. Which is part of the reason why I don't love them. But I did get a relic that gives me poison on my weapon from the beginning, and I love status effects, so that makes me want to use those two characters, which are the best at it. And then speaking of the relics, those are fun too. They have random effects, and who can equip them is random. And it's permanent progression, which I like. It's measurable, and it's also kind of like collecting, and it's also customizing your character. I know that this dynamic makes Nightreign a roguelite rather than a roguelike, but for me, and I think like 90% of players, that distinction in terms is not going to matter. Alright, but here I beat the day 1 boss, and I picked up improved dodging. I thought that was the best of the abilities there. And then I'm ending the night on level 7, which I guess is recommended, so that's cool. I'm looking at the map to see if I can go anywhere, or where I want to go to next. I do want to go to the church so I can get more healing, so we'll mark that. And then yeah, with the rain gone, then I can leave that circle and then go out wherever I like. Yeah, still trying to learn the routing, like what is good. Alright, and then here we'll skip ahead to the day 2 boss. And then these perfumers, they're tough because they can do sort of an AoE attack with their mist. So I like to actually pick up a bow just for them. and then get them from range. I find that that's helpful. So yeah, even though Executor or a lot of characters aren't proficient with bows, I think it's still worth picking up for this. Alright, and then the boss, this is going to be the Tree Sentinel, and then the two kind of sub-guys. This guy's not that tough, so I'm okay with getting this boss. And then I was wondering, like, you know, playing this solo, how is it going to be playing 3 against 1? But it turns out that if you kind of focus on one guy, the other two will kind of leave you alone, so it's more like a one-on-one fight. So this is much more doable, more like just base Dark Souls. So I'm going to focus on the regular Tree Sentinel, just fight him one-on-one. The Draconic Tree Sentinel should be more difficult, but we'll see how that is later. And then as I play, I will record my clears, hopefully. Hopefully I get some of those. I don't think I'm going to be live streaming because my internet connection is not very good. Alright, so here again we're going to use the giant wolf thing. Going to try to just do lots of damage. And then if guys get close to each other, maybe I can use the strong attack to get sort of a kind of an AoE attack. And yeah, this Godskin Stitcher, doing alright. It was kind of an ordeal to get the game. I went to a couple of stores like GameStop and Target and asked them if they had the physical edition of the PS4 copy. And like, they were like, oh, we don't have it, you know, it's not even in our system, so it's not available. And I was like, I don't know, internet says otherwise, but okay. So eventually I just had to download it with my crappy connection. But I guess it was a good time of day, so it only took a few hours. I was able to download the entire 20 gig game, so yeah, I was able to play it starting last night. And then I got the deluxe edition, so I got the soundtrack, the mini soundtrack, and then I'll get the DLC when they release that later this year, I guess it is. My predictions for the DLC? Maybe 2 more playable characters? Maybe a whole new map? And then I'm sure lots of new bosses. And then I saw some people saying that there were no weapons from the DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree. They might add that. All of the additions might be Shadow of the Erdtree related. And then I've also heard that there are kind of 3 phases to the boss musics, which might be related to the announcement recently where they would add more, what do you call it? Enhanced bosses, so maybe there will be a hard mode. I think already we are seeing people are sort of like mastering the game, where they can beat all of the bosses with all the different colors, with all the different characters solo, and it's even easier with 3 players, and so to add an even harder version of the bosses, that might be cool. And then also I've heard that if you go through the remembrances, which are like character-specific missions or levels, then you can get relics, which are particularly good for them, sort of truly unlock them. And then maybe the enhanced bosses are more balanced towards those like super unlocked characters. So yeah, that might be the progression there. Alright, that was embarrassing. I did not die against the when there was 3 of them out, but then when there was only 1 of them out, then I died. But yeah, you run out of healing for sure, and then you can't refill them once you get into the boss, because there's no grace in here. But yeah, there again, I got the wolf form, so I was able to knock this guy down off of his horse. Then I'll just wait for an opening, and then poke him to death. But yeah, this Godskin Stitcher has the 2-hit charge strong attack. So yeah, good damage there. Oh, there he goes. Alright, and then after this I'll go to day 3. Yeah, there I got the max HP. That's good. I'll go to day 3, but I'm only going to be like level 7 or 8, which means my damage output's not going to be very good. When I did fight the boss, I did take it down to maybe 2/3 HP, which was okay, considering. But yeah, I guess I want to be like level 12 or 13, based on what I've seen other people say, so I need to get better at the second day. I'm pretty good at the first day, I think, but second day I need to do better. Alright, so that's the game. Really enjoying it. Hopefully more videos to come in the near future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.